Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from Group 4. In this video, we will discuss an issue entitled Can the government use the frozen asset?
Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fitri bin Hashim and my matrix number is 273915. Today I would like to present about the introduction. Unclaimed property. What is unclaimed property? Unclaimed property is considered as a few situations that can be categorized as property without any heirs when the owner of the property dies without leaving any legal heirs to inherit the property. After the owner of the property dies, no one comes to claim the property. During lifetimes, the deceased person does not make any document or implement the transfer of the ownership through Islamic instruments such as wasiat, hibah, and wakaf. Unclaimed property is an issue that had been a problem for a long time. This unclaimed property issue can no longer be considered as a personal or individual issue, but it can be considered as a national issue. In 2020, there is a report stating that there is around 19 billion that is not claimed and it will be increased this year. One of the famous factors that contribute to the unclaimed asset are regarding the lack of people in managing their estate properly. Unclaimed asset, or we call as frozen asset, cannot be used and it will be kept under the Baitul Mal that is managed by the authorities of state. If the amount of unclaimed asset can be liquidated, it will definitely help to improve the economy, but if there is no action towards this asset, it will bring a lot of problems and it will definitely affect the economy and also the development of the country. For the next part is the background of interviewer. We will interview Dr. Mahini bin Ibrahim as our reference. He is one of lecturer in Islamic Business School, University Utara Malaysia. Dr. Mahini was born in Kedah. He started to be a lecturer in University Utara Malaysia in 2013. Before that, Dr. Mahini began his study in degree of Fiqh and Usul Fiqh in University Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia in 1996. He continued his study in Master of Sharia in University of Malaya in 2005. After that, he also continued his study in PhD of Islamic Banking and Finance at University Utara Malaysia in 2013. During that, he began his career as a lecturer of Islamic Business School UM. He specializes in Islamic estate wakaf planning and retirement. As of 2022, he is lecturer of degree courses of Islamic estate wakaf planning and retirement. He also a lecturer of master student in Fiqh Muamalat. Moreover, Dr. Helmi is involved in Islamic financial trainer which is specialized in the module of Islamic estate. And lastly, Dr. Helmi has been involved in 14 research and 41 publications.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurzahirah Izzati binti Razif 272322. I will continue this video regarding the issues of our project. Our issue's title is Government Can Use Unclaimed Monies. We took the issues from the Star newspaper that was published on 28 November 2020. The issue arises when a suggestion that the Malaysian government may consider leveraging unclaimed property as one of their sources of income. This can consider it as sources revenue to the country after wait for a sufficient grace period of time, which is between 6 to 9 years, and after 6 the legal heirs. However, can the unclaimed property be act as government revenue since we know that government is not the legal owner for that property? This issue we'll discuss with more detail in our interview session with Dr. Hilmi. We use Baitul Mal instead of the government. That's all from me. Thank you.
Saya nak tanya macam, kan harta ni akan bertambah kan? Saya ada baca dekat website government Malaysia ni, dia kata Mufti Wilayah Persekutuan buat fatwa, mana-mana harta yang tak dituntut akan dibagi kat Baitul Mal. So Baitul Mal ni boleh ke guna duit tu ataupun dia just macam pemegang amanah?
Okey, soalan yang baik. Harta yang tak dituntut, ke mana? Ada persoalannya. Ke mana harta? Adakah dia duduk simpan, terlungguk itu saja? saja ataupun boleh dibagikan kepada mana-mana pihak untuk manfaat orang ramai. Okey. Fahamlah. Harta yang tidak tuntut ni pun dia punya, patutnya dia ada had tenor dia yang tertentu lah. Belum boleh digunakan sebab dia adalah milik orang. Harta tak tuntut ni milik, dia ada pemilik dia, cuma pemilik dia tak boleh nak tuntut. Jadi saya rasa kalau diadakan had tentulah, contohnya dah duduk dalam dalam akaun harta tak tuntut tu melebihi 10 tahun ke, dia ada tempoh-tempoh tentulah untuk harta itu dipindah milikkan ke Baitul Mal, kemudian digunakan untuk manfaat umum. Macam tu boleh. Tapi kalau sebelum tu tak boleh lah, mungkin dia kena letakkan had tahun yang tertentu sebab dia adalah harta ada tuan, milik orang. Macam kita pernah ni lah, barang orang, barang yang kita jumpa, contohnya duit 10,000 kita jumpa di jalanan. Kita tak boleh ambil duit tu. Kita kena iklankan dulu. Iklankan sini maksudnya maklumkan. Contohnya pergi ke masjid, masjid akan buat iklan. Kerana tempoh tertentu, kalau tidak ada milik dia, maka boleh diserahkan. Masjid boleh ambil duit tu dan buat untuk kebajikan. Tapi kalau ada orang yang tuntut selepas tu, masjid kena bagi. Cari pula dana dia. Jadi macam wang tidak tuntut ni, kalau tengok proses, kalau melebihi tempoh tentu, dia boleh, mungkin kerajaan boleh buat satu pindaan dari segi undang-undang, contohnya 10 tahun ke atas, maka automatik masuk ke Baitul Mal. Ini seterusnya membantu dana bagi Baitul Mal. Kalau contohnya 90 bilion masuk ke Baitul Mal, tu dia kaya Baitul Mal. Jadi dia boleh guna untuk manfaat umat Islam. Cuma kita ni Malaysia ni, kita tidak ada Baitul Mal peringkat nasional. Tak ada. Baitul Mal ialah peringkat negeri-negeri sahaja. Jadi mungkin harta untuk tengok negeri mana dia berada lah. Mungkin tempoh 10 tahun, mana masuk, dia berada di Kedah, masuk dalam Kedah punya Baitul Mal dan dimanfaatkan oleh rakyat orang Islam yang berada di Kedah. Jadi ini boleh buat kajian lanjut tu. Soalan apa tadi, Hazim tanya.
Irfan.
Boleh dibuat, Irfan tanya, boleh buat kajian lanjut. Harta tidak tuntut masukkan ke Baitul Mal. Itu persoalan. Boleh buat kajian tu. Dari segi pandangan hukum, dari segi undang-undang negara kita. Boleh tu. Bagi idea kat saya, nak telah bagi idea untuk saya buat tu kajian. Cari tengok dari segi hukum fiqah macam mana. Undang-undang Malaysia macam mana. Bagus. Terima kasih. Bukan minta saya untuk ni. Dan tak fikir juga nak pergi ke mana. Kan?
Sebab
Pada duduk dalam tabung tu je, dia akan duduk dalam tu kan.
tu yang meningkat tu yang doktor, sebab
Baru ni ada seorang sahabat beritahu dia kata harta tu diwakafkan. Dibuat wakaf. Itu pun satu idea juga. Tapi itulah dia sebab dia ni milik orang. Harta wakaf. Dia milik kita pun boleh wakaf. Jadi sekarang nak macam mana? Nak turun ke mana? Mungkin dia kena ada kaitan dengan perlembagaan kita, dengan undang-undang kita, ataupun undang-undang enactment agama Islam negeri-negeri untuk dipindahkan harta tak dituntut ini ke negeri bawah Baitul Mal untuk dimanfaatkan. Okay.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. I am Muhammad Irfan bin Razali with ID number 272230. So for today, I will share on the factors of frozen asset. First, lack of knowledge of the heirs regarding claiming the asset of the deceased. This is because the heirs did not know or no knowledge when dealing with the asset or property that left by the deceased. This is because we can see that no one teach them or no one attend with them on spreading the importance of managing assets that are left behind. During our interview with Dr. Helmi, he said that there are Muslims who still need to be educated and give awareness on the asset that left by the deceased. The effect when we give the knowledge, the frozen asset in our country can be decreased and thus helping their family with the wealth or property left for their own expenses in their future. Next, we are going to the problem with bureaucracy. Bureaucracy here means the heirs need to deal with many organizations to claim back the frozen asset. According to a book writing by Muhammad Zamrumuda and Muhammad Rizwan Awang, they stated that the different amount of money will be dealt with different organizations, such as property worth 2 million will be lodged at the Colonial Office of the State in Malaysia. Lastly, the cost that need to cover by the heirs. As we know, in order to claim the asset back, the heirs need to spend a lot of money so that they can get back the asset back. This is because the heirs need to pay for the legal fees and transportation fees. These fees will be borne by them so that they can earn their rights back. During our interview with Dr. Hilmi, he stated that people who live in the rural areas facing hard times as they needed to use a lot of money to deal with the frozen asset. This is because these people cannot claim back because they need to use the money first, especially when the breadwinner dies. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to my friends. Now I'll continue in this video to explain regarding the effects of. There are many effects that derive from unclaimed property. In this video, our group will highlight only 3 effects that occurs because of unclaimed property. The first effect is there will be more unclaimed property in every year. When a person dies, their property will be frozen from any transaction. Therefore, the heirs of the deceased must make a claim on the property of the deceased. However, according to the statistical report during 2020, it can conclude that the unclaimed property increase each year. As a result, frozen estates such as lands will be continued to remain unoccupied and cannot be developed to help the economy of country. The second effect is the heir lose rights to the property of the deceased. This is because many heirs continue to be denied their inheritance rights since the majority of them still do not know how to claim the estate process. Hence, it gives problem for the heirs who are still young and without a source of income, since the successor cannot use the property to ensure their survival. And lastly, the last effect is in increasing number of heirs to the inheritance. When an estate is left unclaimed by the heirs for a long time, a growing number of names of potential heirs will appear, it making them occasionally eligible to inherit the inheritance. Hence, the heirs will get a smaller right to the inheritance land if the heirs do not claim the inheritance as soon as possible. That's all for me. I will pass to my friends. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Nabihah binti Zuraidi, metric number 272203. Now I will explain about a few instruments in estate planning that can be used for unclaimed estate. In consideration of our issue, it is advisable for a Muslim to have proper Islamic estate planning for the purpose of expediting the administration and liquidation of the estate, as well as planning for a fair and balanced distribution based on the wishes and needs of the testator and his family. There are a few main instruments to be considered when preparing the Islamic estate. First, wasiyah. It means a written declaration made by a person during lifetime about the distribution about inheritance upon death. Wasiyah can be used as an instrument for estate planning for someone who has a family that cannot receive their benefits due to religious difference or not having the right to inherit. It implies that the wasiyah should not be made to an entitled legal heir. People who wish to have wasiyah must appoint an executor to handle the wasiyah. The testator must carefully select the executor to ensure that the process of forming wasiyah goes as planned and without difficulties in the future. Second instrument for unclaimed estate is hibah. Hibah is defined as a gift given voluntarily by the owner of assets to the beneficiary during their lifetime without any compensation or return. Estate management through hibah made during life is one of the alternative methods of estate management organized by the religion of Islam, which can be practiced by the property owners for the benefit of the maximum 2 heirs or non-heirs. Hibah is a practice that is circumcised and encouraged in Islam. Third instrument is faraid. Faraid is the most commonly used elements for Islamic estate planning, which refers to the amount of portions assigned to lawful heirs according to Sharia. Distribution of assets under faraid is predictable and determined by who is still alive. Faraid is important and required to be understood by every Muslim to avoid disagreement and conflicts among the inheritors. And the fourth main instrument for unclaimed estate is wakaf. Wakaf is the dedication of property or gift away in charity in express terms of by implication or to secure any benefit for society. Wakaf is considered as sadaqah in Baitul Mal, which is the keeping of property for the minimal benefit of charity and the prohibition of its use or disposal. We can conclude that wakaf is among the institutions that may support those in need and every Muslim in this country is encouraged to participate in wakaf charity in order to help the poor and needy while also becoming close to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala.
Ada wasiat boleh dibuat ataupun buat hibah. Wakaf pun termasuk dalam instrumen juga. Makna dia boleh buat siap-siap. Tapi untuk memindahkan harta ni yang paling mudah dan paling senang, fleksibel untuk dilaksanakan adalah hibah lah. Hibah. Wasiat dia ada restriction, beberapa restriction, kekangan-kekangan seperti tidak boleh diberikan kepada waris dan had limitation harta tidak melebihi 1/3 daripada harta waris. Hibah dia bebas daripada semua unsur-unsur tu. Boleh semua harta dan boleh dibahagikan kepada siapa saja yang dikehendaki. Hibah lah yang lebih fleksibel. Jadi dicadangkan hibah, dibuat hibah lah untuk harta-harta ini.
From the previous discussion, it can be concluded that hibah is a most flexible instrument for managing estate because it is the most competitive and most privileged. Hibah has ability to resolve many issues easier than by other estate management instruments. Besides, hibah also has privileges on estate management through hibah that make hibah the first method of estate management has a place in majority Muslim.
For the last part is a conclusion. In a nutshell, unclaimed property needs to be highlighted as a big issue in our country. If there is no action to prevent it, this asset will increase year by year. There are a lot of parties that can play an important role to prevent or reduce this kind of issue. The important party for us is government. The government should consider this issue as one of key issues that need to be debated in parliament. The government should take this as a serious issue because it will affect the country soon. The government also can highlight this issue under the portfolio of Minister of Religion that can monitor the overview and understanding of citizens toward wealth management. The lack of awareness towards wealth management is very high, especially for Muslim community. So it need to be highlighted as a big issue by the government. The law regarding unclaimed asset need to be emphasized as the heirs need to be aware about the asset that are left by the deceased person. That's all from us. Thank you.